Hey guys, today I have my finished 6 by Summer finale to share with you. I know this is going up a little bit late, but I've been a little bit busy. So we are just going to jump right in. This was a bit of a little bit of a complicated project. I did change things up a little bit midway through. Things just were not working for me, and yeah. So I didn't quite manage to get as much done as I'd hoped to. But I'm still very, very happy with the progress I've made. Originally in this project there were the two Master Touch Concealers from Max Factor, which as you can see are both finished. If I can take the lids off. It looks as though there is some product in, but it is completely pushed up entirely. That's just residue. Nothing else will come out of these. These were nice enough, but I have to use a lot of them. They're fine if you don't have a lot of things to cover. If you're just looking for a really, really natural look, these would be great, but I would probably never repurchase these again. But I did manage to finish both these up. We had the Revlon Colorstay foundation and the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying foundation primer, both of which I had to swap out of the project. The Colorstay foundation went bad shortly after I started using it. I managed to get about halfway through the bottle until I was just it clicked that it was bad. It wasn't that anything else I was doing was making it not work, it was just this product had gone bad. So yeah, there's that. And then we have the L'Oreal Infallible, which just felt like slime on my skin, and it made my foundation, any foundation I put on top of it, just sit really wonky. I used it a couple of times before I was like, no, done, I give up. And the third product I swapped out was the matte maker powder, I believe, from Maybelline, which I don't have in front of me, but it was a very large face powder, like a compact face powder, and it had about I think it was 18 or 20 grams worth of product, and there was just no way I was going to be able to finish it, so I swapped out. And the last original item was the Skin Illuminator from number 7 in the shade Nude, I believe. And I've gotten about halfway through this. It's been sitting on its side, so I can't actually show you the progress, but I have been using this quite regularly as a sort of a primer, like a Radiant Glow primer sort of function. I've been really enjoying it, and I will probably come back to it and use it up later in the year, but for now I'm just going to set it aside. The 3 products I worked in to replace the originals were the Skin Luminizer foundation from Max Factor, which I'm not sure if this has gone bad because it's an air sealed container, so that's it's not very often air sealed containers the product inside them goes bad, but I think that may be what happened. This just kind of sat on the skin, it didn't really blend out well, I just kind of sort of sat there and puckered in the pores, and it kind of reminded me of you ever have those days where it's it's a really hot day and you put on lotion and you start sort of sweating the lotion back out of your pores? That's kind of how this sat on the skin, so I just didn't really get on well with it. The L'Oreal Touche Magique concealers, I don't know how far along I've gone with these, but this is a concealer that I've been using for years. I probably will eventually use them up later in the year, but for the moment I am going to set them aside and work on other concealers in other projects. So all in all, this project was a bit of a fail, but at the same time it was a massive learning curve. I've learned not to put up with products that aren't working for me, not to try and make things work, and just acknowledge when things have gone bad and get rid of them. There's no point in forcing my way through because this is I was using so much of this just to get it to look good. There's no point in putting layers and layers of really bad off makeup on my face when I have so many other nicer foundations. Like around my birthday I took a huge break from my project planning and used my Giorgio Armani foundation. Loved it. That foundation was probably 4 or 5, maybe even probably about 4 or 5 times the cost of this, because this foundation is £12 now, isn't it? Something like that. So yeah, why waste my time on this when I have the Giorgio Armani one to use, you know? And also I've learned that my skin has changed, so I don't really need a whole lot of mattifying products. It's not so much mattifying that I require now, it's more smoothing or pore filling, which is why I lean more towards pore refining products, such as my pore refining face mask or pore refining primer. I do really enjoy the pore refining, oh my god, it's just saying pore refining so much, it just makes you so out of breath. The pore refining primer from Smashbox is possibly one of the best ones I've used so far, and I've used quite a lot of mattifying / pore refining primers. I've used one from Becca, I've used the POREfessional, I've used two from MAC, and I can't remember what it's called. The MAC matte base or the matte medium. It comes in like a clear tube with a really thin spout. It's very similar to this, just as slimy on the skin, so I wouldn't recommend that if you don't like this. But I kind of thought this was going to be a bit like the Maybelline Baby Skin, and it's really not. I like the Baby Skin enough. I think it's been discontinued now, actually, but not enough to want to repurchase anything like it again. I already owned this before I came to that conclusion, so I just wanted to try and get this moved out, and I really don't like it, so I'm not going to keep on using it. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now. I'm really happy with the experience. I wish I'd used up more of the products, but I have been a bit here, there and everywhere with my makeup usage. But I do still have my luxury makeup project pan and a bit of a pan that palette going on. I will link both those videos in the info box if you want to check them out. And I will be focusing on those in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know it wasn't the best result, but it is what it is. And I will see you in my next video.